My name's Patrick Foley, and this is my review of TV Man for UK Film Review. So this film has a really interesting backstory to it. It was actually recorded in 1997. The creator, Leonardo Valenti, who has gone on to have a very successful career in screenwriting, recorded this. Was a very low budget, very original short film made with his friends, which was inspired by films of the time like Clerks. And after a very long and successful career in Italian cinema, Valenti rediscovered this project that he'd made during his youth, from the very, very genesis of his career, and has opted to release this film now in 2025, many years later, to kind of see how this would react in the modern world. So a lot of films go for a retro effect these days, but it really doesn't get more retro than actually being from the time. And it's very, very interesting to look at this short film, knowing that it is reaching an entirely original audience. This is not something that basically anyone will have seen previously, and it very much stands out as a bit of a time capsule film from the 90s. The basic premise of the film follows a young man named Marco who is getting ready to go on a date when he realizes that a man in his television seems to be talking directly to him. The TV man starts to give him advice and starts to help him prepare for the date that he's about to go on. And meanwhile, Marco starts to believe he might be completely hallucinating or losing his mind about this. The story kind of goes from it explores some really interesting parts of sort of human dynamics and relationships, people growing up, people growing mature, whilst also going into quite bizarre and irreverent territory that really has to be experienced with the film for it to make any sense. The influence from filmmakers like Kevin Smith, who of course was creating his classics like Clerks at the time, is very, very clear to see. There's a lot of sort of emphasis on the dialogue in this film. There's a very lo-fi kind of ambience to the whole film. And it's clear, with the story being quite as strange as it is, that the purpose of this was for Valenti and his collaborators to kind of just experiment with camera work and with sort of interesting dialogue, interesting scene staging, things like that, rather than maybe tell a sort of really defined idea of a plot. Obviously, the footage itself, there were quite a few rough edges with it, and the shooting of it was made on kind of lower budget cameras from the 90s. The footage is 30 years of age at this point, so it's understandable that it's maybe not quite as crisp as modern day footage would be. And it really does sort of show how difficult it is to create that effect, though, with modern tech. It can kind of outline the traits, but capturing the real heart of footage of that time and how the world felt at that time and how it came across when recorded on cameras from that time. It really has that sort of authentic feel, the warmth to it, which obviously it's authentic because it is authentic. It's from the 90s, and I find it really fascinating that this is something that has been kind of dug out from that era and is now being produced to an audience today who have not grown up with films like Clerks as an influence. That kind of indie cinema of the 90s has changed an awful lot since then. The film really does work beyond just being a bit of a novelty piece, and it's clear why Valenti was very proud of this, and to release this to a modern audience. It takes a lot of confidence to do that, and shows that even for people who go on to have very successful careers, sometimes just creating something bizarre and weird and wonderful with very limited resources is always worth doing. TV Man probably isn't for absolutely everyone. It's more for people who are interested in the kind of history of indie cinema, and of course it's Italian language as well, so audiences should be aware of that going in. But I really enjoyed this film and thought it is well worth a look if you just want a reminder of maybe a place from which indie cinema has come from.